Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and we are here on EDZ in the Winding Cove, and Xur has arrived. I will tell you, I checked all of the armor for the other classes, and they're not great. Even if the Warlock has a 62, it's got 19 in mobility, so that's not good. Everything else is a 50. You've got a 62 on a chest as well. A lot of resilience, but mobility, but absolutely zero recovery. So the Warlock not doing great. The Hunter is literally all in the 50s, so you can skip all of those. So for the Titan, 58, 56, you can skip. You got a 65, but it's high in intellect, which is only okay. Some recovery, higher in mobility. This is just like not a great setup for a Titan for a stat roll. And again, sorry I sound like the way I do. Had sinus surgery on Wednesday. Everything went fine. I'm in recovery. I just am stuffed up for that. So that's why I sound all terrible right now. 61 actually has one of the better stat rolls, even though it's kind of a lot wasted on intellect. All in all, armor, not great. For weapons, we'll go Dead Man's Tale with Subsistence. If you ever just want a scout rifle, now this is not what I would spend your currency on, but I've used this thing for like bounties and stuff. It's just a hard-hitting scout rifle in PvE, and if you need scout rifle kills for some reason, like that's a nice way to get them, but not worth all the currency it costs. And an opening shot, now you got recoil control, range and stability, opening shot. That's going to be one of your better Hawkmoons, honestly. Opening shot if you like to play the start of the attack, because you've always got alloy, range and stability with great recoil control, and opening shot for your first shot hitting. And especially if you get it stacked up in the paracausal chain, take a second and then you ADS again, that shot's going to hit. So that's actually a pretty good Hawkmoon. Subsistence and moving target, kind of a PvE and PvP mix, so not really a great combo there. Snapshots and quick draw, basically anything that doesn't have an origin trait anymore is just really outdated. Quick draw and frenzy, not bad, but not probably going to be amazing. Grave Robber and Trench Barrel on the Ikilos SMG. Melee final blows, reload this weapon from reserves after a successful melee hit. This weapon gains increased damage. Not a bad little combo, but again, I don't know if that's like a god roll per se, but it's a decent shotgun. Full auto. That's just a system setting now, so I feel like that's kind of a wasted thing. And Adrenaline Junkie is decent, but as for sidearms, you can probably do better. Killing Wind and high impact reserves. If you don't have a Void Pulse Rifle for some reason, this is actually a pretty reasonable one. Good rapid fire Void Pulse Rifle. So if you don't have one, you're new. Not a bad one just to have as a backup until you kind of get one. And if you're a 120 hand cannon person, you've got a pretty good setup. You've got Sure Shot for range, or you can go Hit Mark for some range. Accurized rounds, opening shot, rampage on a 120. The reload speed's probably not like the best thing here, but for a 120, if you've never used one, be a good way to experiment with one in PvP. As I said, all the armor, mostly terrible. You've got Wings of Sacred Dawn on a 66, recovery and intellect spike, and this is a Warlock and an exotic for your super. So you're going to go for Wings of Sacred Dawn. This is probably all you're going to be able to ask for with a 66 from Xur. If you don't have one, definitely pick this one up. Ashen Wake, resilience and discipline. Decent spikes. The mobility is a bit wasted, in my opinion, with the 12, but if you don't have one of these, a spike in resilience and spike in discipline on a Titan grenade exotic, can't really ask for too much more there. And for the Titan, you've got a 62. This is around dodging, leaving an explosive. Like to see a little more recovery here. The discipline intellect is okay, but the high mobility spike's pretty good. Basically, if you're a new player and you don't have one of these exotics, these are all great rolls to start with. Can you get better? Yes, but if you've never used them before, your 23 shards are not going to be wasted. In Crimson, if you don't have this one, it is a 3-burst hand cannon. Only style like it. If you get a kill, it heals you, and a kill gets a magazine, and then if you get the catalyst, it's even better. I forget off the top of my head what it does. It might max out range or something. Either way, basically, if you're new, all of these exotics you should own. They're reasonable rolls. Crimson you should own. And if you like Hawkmoon or haven't got a good one, that's going to be pretty solid for perks that don't work against each other. Everything else is okay. If you don't own a Void Pulse Rifle somehow, that's an okay one to start. 120 hand cannon. That's it for Xur. I know I haven't done the armor setup that some of you guys had seen previously between traveling and then just being sick. That's where we got for now. But if you guys enjoyed this one, drop a like below. We are still climbing to 100K, so if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. I'm going to try and get a solo run on the competitive playlist out for you guys maybe tomorrow. And other than that, I might be streaming this weekend if my nose will allow. But again, sorry I sound like this. Thank you guys, and hope to see you in the next one.